Most people think they're aging because time is passing. But what if the real reason is that they stopped sending their body the right signals years ago without even noticing? Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Your body doesn't age from birthdays. It ages from inactivity disguised as being busy. Think about this for a second. How many days go by where you don't move enough to even slightly challenge your heart? Not enough to sweat, not enough to breathe deeper, just enough to sit, stand, repeat. And yet you still expect your energy, mobility, and strength after 50 to somehow stay the same. What if I told you that a science-backed habit of just 5 minutes a day can quietly shift that trajectory? Not by pushing harder, but by working smarter? No extreme workouts. Your goal isn't youth, it's independence. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why those 5 minutes matter more than most people realize, and how they could be changing your health span right now. Here's the habit most people overlook because it doesn't feel impressive. Zone 2 cardio. It doesn't leave you gasping for air, dripping sweat, or feeling destroyed the next day. And that's exactly why it works so well for longevity and health span. This is the kind of movement your body understands, tolerates, and actually adapts to. Especially when your goal isn't youth, it's aging well with strength, mobility, and independence. Zone 2 means moving at a steady, low intensity where you can still hold a conversation. You're slightly out of breath, but not struggling. Think 60 to 70% of your max heart rate. If you can talk but wouldn't want to sing, you're probably right there. This level of effort feels almost too easy, which is why many people underestimate it. But your cells don't judge intensity the way your ego does. From a functional fitness perspective, this is movement you can sustain for life. It supports balance, circulation, and daily energy without stressing joints or recovery. A brisk walk, an easy bike ride, a gentle incline on the treadmill, nothing extreme. For strength after 50, this matters more than people realize, because consistency beats intensity. Your body rewards what you repeat, not what you occasionally survive. What makes Zone 2 powerful isn't how hard it feels, it's how deeply it works under the surface. This is where evidence-based health quietly does its job, without drama or burnout. It's accessible, safe, and adaptable no matter where you're starting from. And once you understand what's happening inside your cells during this kind of effort, you start to see why 5 minutes can matter more than you ever imagined. What makes Zone 2 cardio truly powerful isn't what you feel. It's what's happening deep inside your cells. At this intensity, your body shifts into a mode that supports longevity instead of survival. This is where health span quietly improves, not through stress, but through efficiency. Your system starts prioritizing long-term energy production over short-term adrenaline. And that's a very different biological conversation than most workouts create. One of the biggest benefits shows up inside your mitochondria, the energy factories of your cells. Zone 2 encourages your body to recycle old, damaged mitochondria and replace them with stronger ones. Think of it like upgrading a city's power grid instead of overloading it. Better mitochondria mean better stamina, clearer thinking, and more stable energy throughout the day. This is foundational for healthy aging, especially after 50. There's also a metabolic advantage most people don't talk about. Zone 2 improves metabolic flexibility, your ability to switch between burning fat and carbohydrates. That flexibility plays a major role in blood sugar control and insulin sensitivity. Over time, this helps reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes without extreme dieting or punishment. It's one of the most evidence-based ways to support quality of life long-term. And then there's the heart, not just stronger, but smarter. Zone 2 increases stroke volume, meaning your heart pumps more blood with each beat. A heart that does more work with less effort ages better. Lower resting heart rate, better circulation, and improved endurance all follow naturally, which raises a simple but powerful question. If this works so well, how little do you actually need to start? Here's a truth most people aren't ready to hear. Your body doesn't need more effort. It needs clearer signals. Zone 2 microdosing works because it speaks your body's native language. 5 minutes is short enough to avoid resistance, but long enough to trigger adaptation. This is how longevity habits survive real life, not just motivation spikes. And that's exactly why this approach supports aging well, instead of burning you out. From a biological standpoint, frequent low-intensity movement keeps your system open for business. Blood flow improves, enzymes stay active, and energy pathways remain flexible. Instead of shocking the body, you're reminding it daily how to function efficiently. This consistency is what preserves mobility, balance, and functional fitness over time. Your body doesn't crave punishment, it craves repetition it can trust. There's also a neurological advantage most people miss. Short sessions lower the mental barrier to starting, which rewires behavior long-term. You're no longer negotiating with your brain, you're just showing up. That's how habits stick after 50, when willpower alone isn't reliable anymore. This is strength after 50 built through strategy, not force. Microdosing turns movement into something automatic, not emotional. And once something becomes automatic, it compounds quietly. That's how quality of life improves without feeling like a second job. But here's the next layer most people skip entirely: how those 5 minutes actually fit into the real, messy structure of your day. Longevity isn't built in perfect conditions. It's built in ordinary moments. That's why the 5-minute strategy works so well in the real world. You don't need a gym, a program, or special equipment. You just need a window where movement can happen without friction. And those windows exist far more often than people realize. A brisk walk during a work break counts. Pedaling lightly on a compact bike while watching the news counts. Walking stairs for 5 minutes before dinner absolutely counts. The goal isn't to work out, it's to remind your body to function. That's how independence is protected, one ordinary day at a time. What matters most is not the activity, but the intensity and consistency. Staying in Zone 2 keeps the effort sustainable and joint-friendly. You finish feeling better, not depleted, which is crucial for healthy aging. This approach respects recovery, something the body values more as it gets older. And when recovery improves, everything else follows. Over time, these small sessions stack into something powerful. They reduce all-cause mortality risk precisely because they're repeatable. This isn't about squeezing life into your schedule. It's about fitting movement into life. And once that becomes your default, a new question naturally arises. How do you amplify the benefits of these 5 minutes even further? Once the 5-minute habit is in place, the next question becomes obvious. How do you get more from the same effort? This is where small, strategic adjustments can amplify results without adding stress. Longevity isn't about doing more. It's about doing things at the right time, in the right way. And Zone 2 gives you that flexibility without increasing injury risk. Think refinement, not escalation. One option often discussed in evidence-based health circles is pairing Zone 2 with light fasting. Doing your 5 minutes before your first meal may gently enhance fat oxidation and mitochondrial signaling. Nothing extreme, no long fasts, no suffering. Even an overnight fast of 12 hours can create a favorable metabolic environment. The key is listening to your body, not forcing a protocol. Another simple upgrade is monitoring heart rate to stay honest about intensity. A basic smartwatch or chest strap can confirm you're truly in Zone 2. Too easy and you miss the signal. Too hard and recovery suffers. This feedback loop builds confidence and precision over time. That's how biohacking, when done lightly and educationally, actually serves healthy aging. And then there's the long game. 5 minutes is the gateway, not the finish line. As capacity improves, the ideal target becomes 45 minutes of Zone 2, 3 to 4 times per week. Not rushed, earned gradually, without pressure. Which leads to an important final question. What mindset keeps this habit alive for decades, not months? Here's an insight most people never hear. Longevity isn't about how hard you train. It's about how often your body remembers how to function. Zone 2 microdosing keeps your biology in a ready state instead of a dormant one. When movement is frequent and manageable, your systems don't shut down between workouts. Circulation, oxygen delivery, and nervous system signaling stay sharp. That's how you train your body to age forward, not downward. There's a concept in aging research called use it or lose it, and it's brutally literal. When systems aren't gently challenged, the body reallocates resources away from them. Zone 2 acts like a daily reminder that your muscles, heart, and metabolism are still needed. This is especially critical for balance, coordination, and independence later in life. Your body doesn't decline randomly. It declines based on demand. What makes this approach powerful is how it changes identity, not just physiology. You stop seeing movement as something you should do and start seeing it as who you are. 5 minutes becomes a vote for healthy aging, cast every single day. That mindset shift is often what separates people who age well from those who struggle. And it happens quietly, without motivation speeches or drastic plans. This is where many people realize they've been chasing the wrong goal. The goal was never intensity, aesthetics, or looking younger. The real win is waking up with energy, confidence, and control over your body. That's when longevity stops being abstract and becomes personal. And it sets the stage for pulling all these ideas together into something you can actually live by. At this point, the idea should be clear. Longevity doesn't come from dramatic changes. It comes from small, intelligent decisions repeated daily. 5 minutes of Zone 2 cardio isn't about fitness performance. It's about protecting your heart, your metabolism, your mobility, and your independence, while there's still time to do it easily. So the real question is simple. If 5 minutes can move the needle, why keep waiting? Here's a challenge worth taking seriously, the 5-minute Zone 2 challenge. Every day this week, just 5 minutes where you breathe a little deeper and move with intention. Notice how your energy feels. Notice how your body responds. Because aging well isn't passive. It's built. And remember, your goal isn't youth. It's independence. And if you want to go even deeper, there's another piece of the puzzle you shouldn't miss. Movement sends powerful signals, but so does nutrition timing. That's why you should watch the next video on your screen. The real reason intermittent fasting may be rebuilding your cells. Autophagy explained. Because understanding how movement and fasting work together can radically change how you age. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay with Longevity Blueprint, where we focus on living longer, staying stronger, and aging smarter.